Everyone tells you the same story. Buy a pickup truck, it'll outlive you. Your dad's truck ran for 300,000 miles. Your uncle's Hilux is still going after 2 decades. So, naturally, you assume every truck on the lot today is built the same way. It's not, and that assumption could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Modern pickups look tougher than ever. Bigger grills, more chrome, more horsepower on the spec sheet. But underneath that armor, manufacturers have been quietly packing in turbochargers running at the edge of failure, transmissions too complex for their own good, and emission systems that can strand a $90,000 truck on the side of the highway. Today, we're counting down 14 pickups with the most expensive, most documented failure points on the market, the exact problems that turn a reliable workhorse into a financial disaster. Stick around for the last 5, because that's where things get genuinely brutal. Number 14. Ram 1500. The Ram 1500 built its reputation on the legendary 5.7-liter Hemi V8, that unmistakable roar, that effortless torque. It's one of the most satisfying trucks to drive in its class. But there's a well-documented weak point: the camshaft and hydraulic lifters. At low RPM or during extended idling, oil struggles to properly lubricate the top of the valve train. The lifters contain a tiny roller bearing, and under poor lubrication, that bearing can seize. Once it seizes, it stops rotating and starts grinding against the camshaft lobe instead. Metal sliding on metal, no lubrication cushioning it. That grinding literally files down the camshaft from the inside, and once it starts, the damage only gets worse. Number 13. Toyota Tundra. For decades, Toyota and bulletproof were basically synonyms. The old naturally aspirated V8 Tundra had a reputation for crossing 1,000,000 miles on the original engine. The new generation swapped that block for a 3.4-liter twin-turbo V6. Smaller, more efficient, but under far more stress. To keep the same towing capacity with a smaller engine, Toyota pushed the turbos hard, and that's led to a string of early turbocharger failures, wastegate issues, internal component failures, sometimes well before the truck's prime. What makes it worse is the repair itself. The engine bay is packed so tightly that replacing a turbo can require separating the cab from the frame, turning what should be a routine repair into a labor-intensive nightmare. Number 12. Ford F-150. As the best-selling pickup in America, the F-150 gets more scrutiny than almost any other vehicle on the road, and its EcoBoost engines have exposed some expensive quirks. One of the strangest, moisture buildup inside the intercooler. Under the right humidity and temperature conditions, water condenses inside it. Floor the throttle to pass someone, and that water gets sucked straight into the engine, causing violent misfires or, in worst cases, hydro-lock damage to the pistons. Then there's timing chain stretch. Chains are supposed to last the life of the engine, but heat and internal stress in early EcoBoost engines caused measurable stretch, throwing off engine timing, producing loud rattling, and in the worst cases, letting pistons contact the valves entirely. Fixing it requires specialized tools and a lot of labor hours in a cramped engine bay. Number 11. Nissan Frontier. The Frontier's 4.0-liter V6 looks like a safe, simple, mechanically robust choice, a proven platform tested on some of the world's toughest terrain. But models from the mid-2000s hide one of the most infamous design flaws in the industry: a radiator that cools both engine coolant and transmission fluid in the same unit. Over time, the internal wall separating the two fails from corrosion and the fluids mix. The result, owners call it the strawberry milkshake of death, a thick pink fluid that destroys the transmission almost instantly. The coolant dissolves the glue holding the clutch material to the discs, and total transmission failure follows fast. Number 10. Chevrolet Silverado. The Silverado's small block V8 lineage is legendary for simplicity and torque, but to meet tightening emission standards, GM introduced active fuel management, a system that shuts down 4 cylinders when full power isn't needed. Great idea on paper. In practice, the special lifters used for cylinder deactivation are extremely sensitive to oil quality and pressure. Over time, they get stuck in the collapsed position or break internally, blocking a valve from opening entirely, causing an immediate misfire and the loud metallic knock that signals real internal damage is already underway. Number 9. Jeep Gladiator. The Gladiator promised Wrangler-level off-road capability with a cargo bed bolted on, and it delivers on looks. But underneath, it's earned a reputation as a delicate, expensive-to-maintain machine. The most notorious issue: death wobble. A violent, uncontrollable vibration in the front wheels triggered by hitting a bump at speed. The solid front axle is fantastic off-road, but it's inherently prone to this if the bushings or ball joints show even minor wear. Add in a string of fluid leaks that feel out of place for the price tag, and maintenance costs add up fast. 8. Mitsubishi L200. In mining and agricultural work, the L200 has a strong reputation, but its newer diesel engines, loaded with complex emissions hardware, have taken a real reliability hit. The core problem is the diesel particulate filter and EGR valve. The truck is designed for high-load, long-distance driving, but many owners use it for short city trips, so the filter never reaches the temperature it needs to regenerate. It clogs completely, the truck drops into a protection mode with drastically reduced power, and a replacement filter can run over $2,500. On manual versions, the clutch is also proven undersized for the truck's advertised load ratings. Number 7. Ford Ranger. The Ranger returned to market carrying a lot of F150 technology packed into a smaller frame, and that complexity has caused real headaches, mostly centered on the 10-speed automatic transmission co-developed with General Motors. Designed to keep the engine in its optimal RPM range for fuel economy, it instead often behaves erratically. Harsh, jarring shifts, or moments where it seems to hesitate over which gear to pick, causing a brief loss of acceleration. Beyond being annoying to drive, that behavior points to accelerated wear on the internal solenoids and clutch packs. 6. GMC Sierra 2500. With the 6.6-liter Duramax under the hood, the Sierra 2500 is one of the most capable heavy-duty tow rigs on the market. Its Achilles heel isn't mechanical, it's the electronics managing its emission system, specifically the diesel exhaust fluid DEF setup. Thousands of owners have hit the same wall, a dashboard warning limiting speed to about 6 miles per hour over a set distance due to a DEF quality fault, even when the tank is full and the fluid is fine. The real issue is often a failing sensor or a clogged urea injector, and because of how the truck's computer is programmed, there's no way to override the warning, which can strand a driver mid-route with a multi-ton trailer attached. Number 5. Renault Alaskan. The Alaskan is a case study in how shared platforms can create confusion and unexpected costs for the consumer. It's essentially a re-engineered version of another manufacturer's truck, and in giving it its own identity, Renault altered the suspension and certain trim elements in ways that proved less durable than the original components. Many owners report shock absorber and rear suspension bushing fatigue before 50,000 kilometers, especially off-road. Worse, sourcing parts is a logistical headache. Long wait times, and prices that don't match a mainstream brand. The 2.3-liter twin-turbo diesel is efficient, but needs far more frequent injector and EGR cleaning than expected. And a thin service network that actually understands this hybrid platform makes diagnostics slow and expensive. Number 4. Toyota Tacoma. Here's a name most people consider untouchable. The resale value king with maybe the most loyal fan base in the industry. But even the Tacoma has a dark side, and it's one that can literally split the frame in two: chassis corrosion. Despite lawsuits and mass frame replacements over the years, Toyota's frame design still allows water and salt to collect in unprotected internal cavities. A frame rotting from the inside has no partial fix. The only solution is a full frame replacement, easily running over $10,000 and requiring the truck to be stripped down piece by piece. Newer models add tailgate support failures under normal loads and a 6-speed automatic that seems to hunt for the right gear, adding wear and hurting fuel economy. The Tacoma is still coasting on a reputation earned 30 years ago. Current models have quietly cut interior material quality and corrosion protection to save on production costs. Number 3. Volkswagen Amarok. The Amarok drives like a sports sedan wearing a truck bed. Its 3.0-liter V6 is fast, refined, genuinely enjoyable, but that German precision comes with a reliability tax when it meets dusty, rough, real-world conditions. Its biggest weak point is the timing belt. Unlike large engines that use a chain built to last the vehicle's life, the Amarok requires on a belt requiring precise, on-schedule replacement. Miss that window by a few thousand kilometers, and you risk total valve and piston destruction, turning a $15,000 engine into scrap metal in an instant. The cooling system is similarly complex, with a real tendency to leak at the water pump or the EGR radiator. Number 2. Ram 2500. The Ram 2500 with the Cummins diesel is one of the true heavyweights of the industry, an engine built to move mountains. But the component tasked with transmitting all that torque to the wheels has historically been the weak link. Stellantis's, formerly Chrysler's, automatic transmissions have a long history of struggling under genuinely heavy-duty use. The diesel's torque is so brutal that internal components, clutches, torque converter, wear out fast. Many owners report slipping or overheating transmissions before 100,000 kilometers when towing near max capacity, and a rebuild can easily run past $7,000. On top of that, chromic steering and front suspension wear brings back that same death wobble at highway speeds. Number 1. Ford F450. At the very top of the personal and light commercial pyramid sits the F450, a six-wheeled beast that can tow over 15 tons. But its high-pressure fuel injection system is a genuine ticking time bomb, and it can be set off by nothing more than a drop of water or a speck of metal shaving. The 6.7-liter Power Stroke uses a CP4 injection pump that's extremely sensitive to diesel fuel quality. In regions where diesel purity isn't ideal, the pump can starve for lubrication and start disintegrating from the inside, sending thousands of microscopic metal fragments through the entire fuel system, contaminating all 8 injectors, the high-pressure lines, and the tank. When that happens, the truck stalls and won't restart. The fix isn't just a new pump. The entire fuel system has to be replaced to stop the metal fragments from destroying the new parts too. A $10,000, $12,000 repair bill is common, and manufacturers frequently deny warranty claims by blaming external fuel contamination. For a truck pushing close to $100,000, that's a brutal vulnerability to swallow. After going through all 14 of these, one thing is clear: the industry has spent the last decade chasing bigger numbers on the spec sheet, more torque, more screens, more horsepower, often at the expense of real-world reliability. If you're shopping for a truck that won't wreck your finances, don't chase the flashiest brochure numbers. Look for mechanical simplicity, fewer systems that can fail, and a track record you can actually verify. If you own one of these trucks and haven't run into these issues, let us know in the comments. And if this saved you from a costly mistake, hit like and subscribe for more.